This is training for case notes, helping your staff to understand how to write effective case management notes using the SOAP protocol or formula. Now, using SOAP, data collection at each meeting with your client is divided into two parts. The subjective part, which contains information about the problem or what the client's facing from their perspective, and the objective part of the collection of data, which is observations made by the case manager. Now, the subjective component always looks at information from the client's perspective. It's best practices here, keep quotations to a minimum, all that kind of stuff. But just remember, you're trying to teach your staff that they need to write down what the client says. For example, today the client says, I'm experiencing much more trouble at home. The S part of the SOAP notes is always from the perspective of the client. The objective part is where the case manager makes observations, and we're trying to quantify that. Direct observations, reports, outside written materials, those kinds of things. But you're trying to make observations. For example, the client appeared depressed today as evidenced by. Make sure that the data is recorded in the objective portion. The client arrived drunk to the session, was rude, obnoxious, uncooperative. Now, the objective part should read, the client smelled of alcohol. You're not trying to come to conclusions. You're trying to observe data. The assessment part is where you begin to put in your professional opinion. This is where you draw conclusions. And these conclusions are what leads to the P part of the SOAP note, which is the plan. I'm looking for an action plan and a prognosis. Both parts are included in the case here. So just read through, get a handle for what takes place in the SOAP notes. And I've even given you an example of what they should look like. The subjective description or the observations go here, the objective part, and then you're looking at the assessment. The assessment here, the plan goes here. You're trying to get all these completed accurately so that you have a good, concise record so that when any case plans are audited, they can come through with shining colors in the audit. A SOAP format will always help your staff to know how to write case notes effectively.